Greetings and salutations. Let's talk about tools today. It's been a long time since I've done a tools day, and I've kind of retired the old concept of tools day, but I still buy tools. I still like tools, and I want to share an update with a tool that I did a video on some time ago, the Motive Products PowerBleeder. So just to recap, what this is a pressure vessel. You would put brake fluid in this and then pump it up. By pumping it up, it pressurizes the tank and it forces brake fluid through this hose. There's several types of adapters that you can get that screw onto this hose that you attach to your master cylinder, and what that does is it pressurizes the master cylinder, so you don't have to have somebody in the truck or in the vehicle pumping the brakes and pressurizing the lines as you crack the bleeder screws. This particular product I bought on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description to it. And what I originally bought this for was to bleed my clutch master cylinder. And the way that I did it was to reverse bleed. So I would attach this to the bleeder screw, crack the bleeder screw, and force brake fluid from the slave cylinder up to the master cylinder. Well, what I recently got was the adapter that fits my old square body Chevy. And that tool completes this setup, and what it does is it provides roughly 2 quarts of additional brake fluid so that you keep your master cylinder topped off, because what can happen, especially if you're doing this by yourself, is that you can bleed the brake fluid out and drain the master cylinder. It doesn't take very long, and then reintroduce air, and it kind of negates the whole thing that you've been doing. So let me show you the adapter that I got that completes this setup. So here's the Motive Products adapter plate that mounts onto the master cylinder. And for those of you who don't know, modern master cylinders have 2 chambers, one for the rear brakes and one for the front brakes. That way, if you blow a brake line, you don't lose all your brakes. So what I have here is a looks like a billet piece of aluminum with a thin layer of nitrile or rubber to seal against the surface of the master cylinder, and 2 ports to introduce brake fluid to both chambers of the master cylinder. That would get mounted after you remove the cover to the master cylinder here, which I've done already. You'd mount this onto your master cylinder, and then there's some thumb screws and a couple of chains that would go around the master cylinder and clamp this down, and then this gets screwed on to the pressure vessel, and you would introduce brake fluid into the master cylinder through this hose, keeping the master cylinder topped off as you crack the bleeder screws. So let me get this thing hooked up, and I'll run down to the store real quick and get some fresh brake fluid, and we'll get to bleeding these brakes. The reason why this truck's been sitting in my driveway for a couple of weeks, and I've been waiting for this, and if you don't know, maybe you're new here, welcome. But the problem I've been having with this truck has been sitting for so many years. I think the last time I drove this on the road was 2003, and maybe 2004, and I had it in storage in Michigan, where I come from. In 2012 I brought that out here to Nevada, and yeah, it's just been kind of sitting for the last 8 years here in Nevada, baking in the sun. So the front brakes, I originally bought new master cylinder, basically replaced everything in the brakes, and I got this thing back together, and the front brakes won't release unless you crack a bleeder screw. And I narrowed it down to the which I've never experienced before, but I narrowed it down to the proportioning valve. I took that out last week, cleaned it out. There was some rust and stuff inside there. So now I need to re-bleed the brakes to see if that was the issue and see if I've corrected it. And if it is, great. If it isn't, I'm going to need to do this again. So I need to get some fresh brake fluid so that I can bleed these front brakes, and then we'll go from there. So let me bolt this thing down. So it comes with 4 J hooks and 2 chains. And those fit on there like so. Now, if anybody from Motive is watching, I think a nice addition to this would be a bleeder screw or some kind of valve where you could bolt this down, attach everything, and then purge the air from the system by loosening a bleeder screw on the chamber here, so that you're not just pumping air into the master cylinder. Just a suggestion. Now, hook this up to the PowerBleeder. Down. You see the brake fluid starting to come up through here. Well, this is fucking perplexing. I got both bleeder screws wide open. And I'm still at 10 pounds. So it looks like the mystery's been solved. The line that runs from the master cylinder to the proportioning valve is plugged with something. Either the line's kinked or it's got some debris. If I crack the line at the master cylinder, fluid's coming out. But when I crack the line at the proportioning valve, nothing comes out. So let me strip that line out, and we'll see if we can clear the obstruction. Other than that, I think we're good to go. Probably wasn't anything wrong with the proportioning valve at all. Ah, so you get that cleaned off there too. Okay. Let me pump that thing back up. put up the economy again so I get a freaking haircut. Oh no, I'm almost out of break. Leave the pressure off by just cracking. And do it slowly. Alright, so I'm going to probably have some spillage here because my master cylinder is tilt back a little bit. So it's, you know, it's filled up the master cylinder with brake fluid and now it's overfull. So it's probably going to spill out the back as soon as I take this off. If that happens, you might want to have some paper towel, if you can find it, stuffed under here to catch the excess. But if it does happen to dribble out, have some brake clean on hand and just spray that stuff off with brake clean before it starts to eat the paint. And you should be good to go. I could always use my hair to catch the line, sure. I hope. Just take these off. Yeah. Little overflow. What does a tool like this cost? Well, the you know, I need to get a hat. Oh, that's a lot better. So what does this system cost? Well, I got the 2-quart capacity PowerBleeder, this little beaut right here, and that was about 40 bucks. Now to use these to pump brake fluid through the master cylinder and to the independent bleeder screws on the wheels, you need an adapter, and Motive Products sells an assortment of different adapters to fit a myriad of different master cylinder types. I got this particular one. This is a universal large type for, this fits the GM trucks, and this was another 40 bucks. So for about $80 to have a PowerBleeder. Is it something that you have to have? No, it's a convenience item. You can do this with a buddy, or if you're patient enough and want to get up, get down, get up, get down, get up, get down, keep refilling the thing, and you know, if you need the exercise, you don't need a PowerBleeder, I guess is what I'm saying. But this is something that if you are a shade tree mechanic and you work on your own stuff, this would be an excellent addition to your arsenal. So check the links in the description. I'll put both of these items there, and also put a link to Motive Products webpage. You can go check out what they have to offer. If you don't see anything in the Amazon affiliate links that interest you. If you do go to Motive Products and buy something, tell them I sent you. They won't know who I am, but at least they'll know somebody sent them. When it comes to the red dually, it's been a few months since I worked on this thing, and part of the reason why I haven't is because I got frustrated with both the brakes and the clutch master cylinder. So if you want to see the master cylinder fiasco, go check out this video, and to give you an update on what was causing the problem with my brake system. At this moment I haven't tested it. but all indications show that it was a plugged line. So the line coming from the master cylinder going down to the proportioning valve was plugged, probably with rust. When I was initially bleeding it, it would allow a little brake fluid to go by, but it wouldn't let the pressure bleed off, and the more fresh brake fluid sat in that line, the more rust would break loose from the inside of the line, creating a bigger plug. Where you saw it wouldn't even push brake fluid through the bleeder screw when I was pumping the brakes. So let's go check it and see if it actually works and get the truck started. Check this out. Oh, sorry about that. That's the hood. It's a little spongy yet. I'll put it over there. Well, the brakes work. I still need to bleed the rear brakes because okay, it'll stay here for a couple of days. So, just to recap, that couple months ago when I was bleeding, or trying to bleed the front brakes, trying to figure out why the front brakes were hanging up, I had replaced the wheel cylinders on the back brakes, and I didn't adjust the brake linings. So what ended up happening is I overextended one of the wheel cylinders, and it blew the piston out of the bore, and of course drained all the brake fluid out of the wheel cylinder, so there's a big air pocket in the rear brakes. So I'll get on that, but right now I need to get the Jeep up in here because I need to look at some stuff on the Jeep. But I just thought I'd share that Motive Products brake bleeding system and share it with you. And if you're interested, please check the links in the description. If you like this video, smash the like button and share it with your best social media network, with them all. And if you haven't done so yet, this time I'd like to invite you to subscribe. And if you do, please click the little bell icon right next to that, so YouTube will let you know the next time I upload a video. So until next time, you have fun, stay safe, shoot straight, keep your powder dry, and have a splendid day. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.